Hey, what's up, true believers? It's your boy Jay Whittaker. Welcome. You know what? I've been gone on the road for a little bit, and I finally got some downtime. So I wanted to catch up with you guys, and I decided to go to my local comic book store and catch up on some comics. And today, I happen to pick up Avengers, XMen, Eternals, Judgment Day 1. All right, look. So, quick backstory. Not on Avengers, X-Men, and Eternals, on me. So back in the days when I was a little kid, I had my allowance, and so I never really had a specific favorite comic book character growing up. And even now, still to this day, I mean, it's Deadpool now, but I mean, I always bought the group comics because as a kid, you only got so much money. So naturally, I look at the cover, and I'm like, whoever has the most characters in it, that's what I would buy. So that's why Infinity Gauntlet is still one of my favorite arcs. Secret Wars is always one of my favorite arcs, just because and the comic store I went to, they wouldn't allow you to you'd get 5 seconds to look through it, before someone shouted at you, this isn't a library. So unfortunately, I had to judge a book by its cover. So that's why if it had more than 6 people, I'm buying it because I want to know who's on it. So naturally, I see Avengers, X-Men, and Eternals on one cover. Say less. So mind you, I haven't read probably an X-Men arcs in a long time. The last thing I remember was probably the Hickman run, and even that's kind of fuzzy for me. The Avengers, it was the Avengers Hickman run. I showed up for Avengers versus X-Men. It was okay. So I know there are others that are, you had to read Immortal, X-Men for this and a couple other stuff. I didn't even know the X-Men were immortal. Okay. Mutants are, so quick backstory on this. I'm not going to spoil it too much, but I'm going to go Judgment Day 1 through 6. You can read the other stuff, but this is some heavy shit. And I've seen some tweets about this stuff, and I was like, man, I feel like I gotta jump in on this, and because it's just some extinction level event stuff. So I even took notes for y'all. I got a little notebook, Geekshow Patreon, and notes. So shout out to the Patreon. Look at y'all. Your support on the Patreon helps a brother buy notebooks. Now I know you're thinking, what the hell you need? You ain't got notebook money? I'm like, look, I got notebook money. I'm doing okay, but it's nice to get, some donations. So look, this shit starts out. I'm not I'll just kind of generalize and give you some summary. So if you're following along, you're gonna love this. If you're not gonna read this at all, then I'm giving you the cliff notes. So this is either way, because sometimes you don't want to buy all that shit. You may have too much, and then you're like, oh man, I don't have the money. Or so listen. Here I shall read the header. Avengers, X-Men, Eternal, Judgment Day. All right, you guys ready? The Eternals were created by the alien space gods known as the Celestials to protect the Earth. The Avengers, Earth's mightiest heroes, are currently headquartered in the body of a deceased Celestial. Damn! One of the Eternals' chief directives is to correct excess deviation. Druid, the current Prime Eternal, recently determined that Earth's mutants, with their ability to resurrect themselves, represent excess deviation, and therefore he is set out to destroy them all. Damn! So dude is pulling, no more mutants. He's pulling the Scarlet Witch. Okay, House of M reference. Two of the Eternals, A.X.E and Vicari, secretly abducted the mutant geneticist? Yeah, geneticist. Mr. Sinister from the Mutants Island nation of Krakoa. All right, so the backstory. Mutants, they got their own little chill-out spot called Krakoa. Krakoa's got about a little under 250,000 people, and then they got Araco or some shit, and that's got 1 million people. And that shit's on Mars. And these are the hard like war-torn mutants that have been through a lot of shit. There's probably a lot of backstory, but guess what? I had to read the shit. Look, I just go off the cover, okay? This is me judging the book by its cover. So this shit starts out, so basically the Eternals and the X-Men are on the brink of war, you know? It is now, and I'll have to catch up on this backstory, but apparently it must be an immortal X-Men, and my dog is humping my leg. Please don't do that. That is gross. So the Avengers, excuse me, the X-Men are immortal. Okay, we know that. The Eternals obviously are eternal. We should know that just based off the name. So this is going to be a long ass battle if two immortal groups of people are going to fight. So Druid, he's like, yeah, he's the head Eternal in charge. I was going to say something else, but if you know, you know. And he is going to be. He's just said, yeah. These guys, they're immortal now. Mutants are immortal. Basically this is based out of fear, because he fears like, oh, they're plagiarizing us. That's what Cersei says too. So Tony and Cersei, they meeting up. Tony Stark, Iron Man, he meeting up with Cersei, who used to be a former Avenger, is also an Eternal, and he's like, look, how can we stop this war? He's trying to play peacekeeper, and she's like, ugh, this place is not that posh. Also, this dinner sucks. And mutants, they are plagiarists. They are haters. They copying our style. That's like our thing, the fact that we can't die. And so then, out of nowhere, while they sitting there talking on this nice little penthouse, Phoenix, who's apparently been separated from Jean Grey, so now Phoenix is an Avenger, and she comes out and slaps the absolute fire out of Cersei and punches her right in her face. Punches her in the bangs, and she is knocked out. She is dispatched. Captain Marvel and Thor, they're like, yeah, we got her. And, you know, Iron Man's like, yeah, I hope it didn't have to come to this. Now, back on Krakoa, now, if I'm saying this right, guess what? I don't give a shit, okay? I spent my hard-earned $3.99, $5.99. Damn, comics are going up. Anyways, so now Nightcrawler, Magneto, and Cable and Storm, they all just chilling on Mars and shit, just being all immortal. I guess everything's okay. And they're on the brink of war. Nobody can die. This is old gods versus the new. But you could definitely tell the Eternals are planning something big. And the mutant Destiny, she kind of figures it out. She's like, yo, something's happened. There's some spikes going on, like energy spikes going on. And so then they go back to Olympia, and where Druid, you know, head Eternal in charge, he's pleading before like this council of all Eternals and shit. And he's like, yo, we got to stop these mutants because they finna replace us, you know, because they can't die. And this is part of our, this technically is, like, he hits him with the rule book. He's like, yo, this shit is within regs, guys. Like, we're supposed to, like, technically just, you know, kick the shit out of them and exterminate them because they are excess deviation because they can't die. So they, rule book, and then the council, through, like, these red-ass holograms, give them the thumbs up, and they're like, yo, yeah, kill all of them. So then, let's see. He's basically, yeah, he's like, this is too much. And so then he goes to like the Eternals prison, which is called the Exclusion. I think my dog is humping something. I don't know, but goes to the Eternals prison, which is called the Exclusion. And Uranos, the Undying, he's just in the prison. He's like, yo, let me out this bitch. I will solve all of these problems. I will wipe out all these mutants. He's like, dude, I don't know if this is a good idea, but he's like, hey, but he like convinces him. He's like, look, you've overstepped. You're out of bounds. This is too much on your plate, Druid. Just let me out for an hour and I'll finish this shit for you. Like, this is going to be light work. And so Druid agrees. They use the Unimind. Remember the Unimind? They use the Unimind to like psych attack all the mutants on Krakoa or Araco, and Krakoa. I don't know shit. Yeah, Krakoa, and they psych attack the shit out of them so they can't see them coming. Eternals show up in the whole war armor. They look suited and booted. They came from Eternals warehouse. They're gonna like the way they fuck up shit, and they start kicking the shit out of everybody. Nightcrawler's like, oh shit, hey, this is happening. They got Psych Attack. Wolverine shows up, starts kicking the shit out of people. Looks like the lady version of Mr. Sinister. I heard his daughter. I don't know, but she throws knives at him, and she sniffs him out. I know I'm telling this story and spoiling this. Stop humping my leg, dude. I know Eternals, Avengers, X-Men, Extinction Level World Event makes you horny, but you can't do that to Dad while he's talking to the people. All right? See, this is the hot content that you guys get. So now, so look, Nightcrawler shows up, teleports to A.X.E. or Araco or whatever. Araco, man, there ain't nothing left. Bro, there's like nothing left. All you see is like scorched earth, skeletons, Magneto's helmet, and then you see the Undying, who's Thanos' granddad. He calls him granddad. Thanos calls him Thanos calls him granddad. Like that's Pap Pap. Pap Pap shows up and he is counting down. He's already done. He's laid waste to 90% of the population. He's like, okay, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. And he ends up back in jail on the Exclusion. And then Druid decides to like hack everybody's cell phone and FaceTime the shit out of them from Olympia. He's like FaceTime and he's like, hey, Earth, just so you know, we're going to be making some changes. There's new management. These X-Men that y'all don't like is, by the way, there are humans still hate on mutants because they're mutants. And also now they hate on them even more because they can't die. So now Druid is like, yo, I heard y'all got an X-Men problem. Yeah, I let my homeboy out. He's fresh out. I let him out for an hour. He fucked shit up. And so you don't have to worry about that anymore. We're going to take care of this for you. But also, we're making some changes, and please ignore these massive towers that just decide to pop up in the ocean. These are not like death machines. It's just the Hex, and they're just going to just kind of do surveillance, and they're like knocking over ships and stuff. So naturally, Namor's like, yo, Avengers assemble, please, because they are fucking my ocean up. So this is just episode 1, guys. This is episode 1. I'm going to read this with you guys if you want to follow on. And if I got some shit wrong, you could tweet at me. Look, this is just fun. Check this out. Avengers, X-Men, Eternals, Judgment Day. I feel like it's going to be a lot of punching. And listen, I'm just saying, Uranus, I don't know how you say it. U-God. We're going to call him U-God. Shout out to Wu-Tang. Uranus the Undying, a.k.a. U-God, is going to show up, wipes out 90% of all mutants, but there's that one mutant. That one that's just like waiting. I wonder if he's going to show up. If you know, you know. But I know he's, if anybody could save him, it's that dude. And if you know, then you know. So let's just see how this goes. I'm going to keep this going. Check it out. Let me know what y'all think. Much love to y'all. Peace.